Hi, I'm Tom Zelenka. Now, I'm just a beginner in the kitchen. In every episode of Carolina Cooking, I meet a different chef from a famous restaurant in the Carolinas who'll teach me to cook their secret recipes in just 30 minutes or less. Really good.
Welcome to Carolina Cooking, shot on location at the Mansion on Forsyth Park and the 700 Kitchen Cooking School. Now, here's your host, Tom Zelenka.
Hi. Welcome to Carolina Cooking. I'm your host, Tom Zelenka. Now, this is the show where we bring the best chefs from the best restaurants all around North and South Carolina, and we bring them here to teach you and me how to make their incredible recipes. Today, we're doing pan-roasted red snapper, I know what that is, with fingerling potatoes and a, well, Peeky-toe succotash. Never made that before in my entire life. I don't think I've ever eaten it. So we're going to learn how in 30 minutes or less, and if I can learn to do it, so can you. We have enlisted a great help. Executive Chef Tom Condren from Upstream in Charlotte, North Carolina is here to give us a hand. Right. Tom, I appreciate you coming out. I have never made Peeky-toe succotash in my entire life. Can you believe it?
I can believe it.
Okay, and in my mind, it's like Peeky-toe, P-E-E-K-Y-T-O-E. Is that right?
That is. It's a type of crab. It's a rock crab out of Maine.
Oh, okay.
And that stuff. Very sweet, very succulent meat.
Oh, okay. And so that is under our red snapper here. And then we have a red snapper on top. And so where are we going to begin with this? Are we going to begin with the fish, or are we going to begin making our Peeky-toe succotash? Or?
We are. We're going to do both. We're going to start off making Peeky-toe crab succotash,
okay,
as well as making the sauce, actually.
All right,
for
sounds
the,
good.
Making the sauce for the black truffle broth. First thing we're going to do is take a shallot and that stuff. Now with shallots, are going to be two things we're going to do here.
Okay.
One is we're going to make it for the sauce, and one we're going to make for the succotash.
What part did you cut off?
I cut off the stem piece.
Oh, okay.
And then what you want to do is just do a little thicker cut, and that's it. All you got to do is do a thicker cut and go down.
Oh.
I'm going to go ahead and do the shallots for the sauce, because you got to be really thin, and I don't want you to cut your fingers.
Oh.
So I'll do this.
I appreciate that.
You're quite welcome.
Yeah.
And
some of the other people I've worked with, not so kind. They just let me cut my fingers.
Well, you know, we want to get through this in 30 minutes, so.
Alrighty, so I have the big ones here, and
right.
you're doing thin ones?
Right, and then when you want to take fingerling potatoes.
Alrighty.
You can grab those. I'll show you how to cut those. If you give me one.
Potato, there's one.
And these have already been roasted off. Quick,
oh,
quick little 15 minutes. Salt, pepper, a little olive oil, throw it in the oven. And all you want to do is cut it on little bias.
Okay.
Yeah, just
like
a little
that?
bit. Yeah, and just little bite-sized pieces.
Bite-sized pieces.
Over here, Tom,
okay.
I'm going to go ahead and just a little blended olive oil.
Blended olive oil? What would be in blended olive oil?
Blended olive oil is usually 75% pure olive oil and 25% of another oil, usually like canola oil.
Okay.
Which basically has a higher burn point.
Okay.
So it's and the olive oil for the flavor. It is blended though. It's not extra virgin. You never want to really cook with extra virgin olive oil.
Really?
Correct.
That's all I have at my house is extra virgin olive oil.
Well, make a lot of salads.
Okay.
And that stuff.
Good to know. Important tip. All right. So do we have enough potatoes here?
We do. That's more than enough.
All right.
We're going to take our shallots.
Our little ones.
Our very thin sliced ones. And we're going to make a sauce right here. Then if you can hand me the thyme, I'll show you the thyme, which is right over here.
Right here.
And we're going to just put that over here. What you want to do is just go to drop that in there.
With the stems and everything?
With the stems and everything, because
really?
we'll remove that.
Okay. Alrighty, so just drop the thyme in.
Drop the thyme in,
right.
That's it. And then we're just going to stir around. If you want to go ahead and just stir that around.
Here.
And that.
So.
And we're going to add a little bit of black pepper.
Ooh, okay. This is already smelling incredible.
One thing you always want to do, a little bit of sea salt.
Okay.
The one thing that you always want to do when you're cooking is to always season your food as you go. You never want to wait to the end to season your food.
Oh, okay.
So you want to season your food as you go with salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper in there. Get it in there first.
Correct.
Okay. Alrighty, and are those sweated down?
Yeah, well, you want to go ahead and let it sweat. Let's just let it keep cooking.
Okay.
What you're looking for is, sweat brings out the natural juices of the shallots.
Oh,
and you want them to caramelize. Shallots have a lot of sugar within them, so you want them to caramelize and get nice and good.
That's turned brown, right?
Yep.
Okay. A little bit brown. Turn them a little bit brown. I got
you. Brown, not black.
Okay, yeah, well,
brown.
there's a fine line, apparently, between brown and black. I know, I can attest.
Exactly. You just want to keep that stirring.
Okay.
Like that. Then what we want to do, we get this going, we want to add some white wine to it. About a cup of white wine.
Okay.
So about half of that's probably fine.
So this would be our white wine?
Right. You want to
Doesn't
take that
matter
off
if
the
it's
heat?
dry, if it's a...
well, the rule is if you're going to cook with it, you should drink it.
Okay.
So, how is that?
It's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Fruity. Alrighty.
Great. And we're going to put that back on, and we're just going to let this reduce by about a half to 3/4.
Oh, okay. All right. Fantastic. So we have our potatoes over here, and we'll set those aside. Those are for just a little bit later, and this is our fish, right?
Correct. This is genuine red snapper from the Gulf of Mexico.
Okay.
Now, to be called genuine red snapper, it has to come from the Gulf of Mexico.
Really?
So we got a beautiful snapper.
What would it be called if it was from the Atlantic?
Well, there's all different types. Genuine reds really just are within the Gulf of Mexico and that stuff. What we want to do is we want to score the skin. Mm-hmm. Now we're going to cook this skin on. Snapper is a fish that you definitely cook skin on. And any fish that you can cook skin on, you definitely want to, because that's the best part.
So this is the skin side right here,
That is, exactly. So you just score it a little bit. What scoring does is when it cooks, if it's not scored, it has a tendency to curl upward.
Ah, okay, I gotcha.
So you want to score it. I think we'll probably only do one. We'll do one fillet only.
Alrighty.
That stuff. So just give it a good score.
If you didn't have red snapper, if you couldn't find it, if you didn't make it to the Gulf of Mexico, what else could you use?
Any really good white fish would be great with this dish.
Okay.
A halibut, grouper,
okay.
You know, any type of snapper, sea bass, anything like that. Good,
all right.
Good white fish.
Okay, so are we ready to fry our fish or begin roasting our fish?
We definitely can. What you want to do, first of all, you want to get your pan hot.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and add a little olive oil to that.
A little blended olive oil?
Blended olive oil, correct.
Is that enough?
That is plenty. Okay. And you can see it's smoking, and that's what you're looking for.
Okay.
You want to get that nice smoking. Now we want to season our fish first.
Ooh,
always
absolutely.
Season.
A little salt.
And be liberal with the salt.
Oh,
Don't be scared. Most of it will fall off into the pan.
Okay.
The same with black pepper.
A little black pepper.
Both sides, and again, liberal.
Liberal black pepper.
And both sides.
A little blue state black pepper here. All right.
Okay.
There we go.
And now we're going to add that to the pan. And let me show you one way that you always want to add fish when you're adding fish to a pan.
Okay.
You want to always add it away from you. Okay, so you want to get your thing, you want to add it away, and then immediately shake it one time after you put it in there. So put it away going that way.
Add it away.
And of course, Tom, as you can tell, the reason why is if it splatters, it's going to splatter against the back of your stove, and then, you know, your wife can clean that up.
And we put it skin side down, right?
Correct. And then we're going to press it down a little bit.
Okay.
We want our skin to caramelize. Now, at this point, we're going to turn our heat down. Now we don't want to cook over medium.
Okay, so we turn it down. We're getting some juice out of there.
Right, and what you're going to do is you're going to get that skin nice and caramelized.
Okay.
And get a nice crispy skin to your fish.
Alrighty.
So we turn it down to medium now.
Can I shake it some more?
That's it. Perfect.
Okay.
You don't even have to touch it no more.
Alrighty.
And we're going to let that slowly cook a little bit.
All right, and we also have this reducing?
We do. We're going to let this reduce down just a little bit more. Then after this point, we're going to add some heavy cream to this.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. We're going to add our wild mushroom stock to this.
I got you. Well, when we come back, we're going to be finishing up our sauce here, and we're also going to be finishing up our fish when Carolina Cooking continues.
Perfect.
So just keep the juice coming out of it, or do you just not touch it anymore?
Well, you really don't have to really much touch it, you know, and once you've shaken it and done it right, then it's not going to
You can find the secret recipes of the best chefs in the Carolinas, all in one book, the Carolina Cooking Cookbook. Find the Carolina Cooking Cookbook in Amazon.com and our website, carolinacooking.tv.
Welcome back to Carolina Cooking, where a red snapper has seared on one side, and now we are ready, you can see it there, to flip it over and let it sear on the other side. Does that look good?
That looks fantastic.
Alrighty. And so we have that searing on the other side, and we have our sauce here, which we have to finish up as well. What else goes in the sauce?
Now we're going to add the wild mushroom broth.
Wild mushroom broth?
Right.
What's in a wild mushroom broth?
It's just the stems of all the mushrooms that we work with, and just make a nice stock out of that.
Alrighty.
So just going to add all that to that.
Okay. So that goes in there?
Right. We're going to let this just reduce down just a little bit while we're doing that. What you want to do now is add some fresh thyme.
Some fresh thyme to our fish.
Correct.
Okay.
And just throw that right in the pan, throw the whole thing in there.
Yep. All this fresh thyme.
All of it.
And again, don't take the stems off?
Nope.
Oh,
just throw it in there.
Alrighty.
And what that's going to do is it's going to add a lot of aromatics to the fish while we're cooking.
Okay.
Then what we do in the restaurants, we make a thing called a beurre fondue.
Ah.
And beurre fondue is right over here. And all beurre fondue is butter and water. You take like 1 tablespoon of water.
Okay.
Bring it up to a boil. Add some butter into it. Usually about a half a pound.
Oh, okay.
And it keeps it emulsified. And what this will do is we're going to pour this right over the fish.
Ah, I gotcha. Ooh, look at that. Oh, that looks good.
This is going to keep it very moist while it goes into the oven. So now we probably need to go ahead and put that into the oven.
Alrighty. Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and grab it. If you'll open the oven for me. Woo, doggies.
And we'll put that in the oven about 350 degrees.
Okay.
And let it cook probably about 6 to 8 minutes.
Okay, 6 to 8 minutes, 350 degrees. All right.
And what we got here was we got another pan on here. We're going to do our ragu. We need to add a little bit of Succotash.
Succotash, okay. All right, so that's the olive oil, the blended olive oil.
Correct.
And then we also have what? Crab meat here.
That is our Peeky-toe crab, correct.
Okay. We have tomatoes, I'm guessing?
Farmer's market tomatoes, diced.
We have corn.
Sweet corn.
All right. These beans?
These are fresh butter beans.
Fresh butter beans,
Also called lima beans in the north, shell beans in the south.
And then we have chocolate chip ice cream, right?
We do, but we'll call that black truffle butter.
Black truffle butter, okay. Black truffles, where do black truffles come from?
Well, black truffles are dug up. Actually, Hillsborough, North Carolina is where these truffles came from.
Is that the one they send pigs for?
They do. But actually, they use pigs, but now they're using dogs because pigs enjoy the truffles. So pigs will dig it up and they eat them.
Okay.
You know, and of course, they're very expensive.
Then there goes the profit.
Right,
okay, so what has to go in the pot first, the pan
Well, first we want to get this hot.
Okay.
And what we're going to need to do is add the shallots that you diced and the fingerling potatoes that you cut.
Shallots right here?
Yep, so
the
go ahead
thick
and add
shallots?
that to it.
Okay.
And again, we're going to let that sweat down.
Okay.
So let's just let that cook for a few seconds.
Okay.
You can add a little bit of salt, a little bit of black pepper to that.
Season it, salt.
Right.
All right. Right,
There
like
you go.
that. You want a little more? Or are you good?
Nope,
with that?
that's perfect.
Okay. And some black pepper?
Right?
Alrighty.
Great. Now after we sweat this down a little bit,
Okay.
we're going to go, you can add your fingerling potatoes.
Oh, okay. Fingerling potatoes right here.
Correct. Again, these have already been roasted, so basically we're just heating these up and caramelizing them a little bit.
Okay. Alrighty.
Right.
There we go. And
now we got mushroom stock reducing. Now we
Okay.
can add some heavy cream. And you want to add just about a quarter of that. You don't need to add all that.
quarter
heavy cream.
of the heavy cream.
Right.
Okay. Do we need to stir it in?
No, just go ahead and add it right to it.
Okay.
And then that's perfect right there.
All right.
Excellent.
Okie-doke.
And you can whisk that around a little bit like
Ooh,
that.
okay.
And now we're just going to let that naturally reduce.
Reduce down, and this will be our sauce for our fish, for our
Correct,
red
for the
snapper.
red snapper.
Okay.
And again, we got our fingerlings going. Now we
Okay.
can start adding some of our succotash ingredients.
All right.
Sweet corn, first
Sweet
off.
corn right
This
up
is
here up front.
Corn freshly shucked
Yep.
and uncooked.
And you want all of this?
Half of it. There you go. That's perfect.
Alrighty.
You can go ahead and add your the shell beans, the butter beans.
Butter beans.
Correct.
Okay. Butter beans right here.
Yep. These butter beans have been cooked. It's been cooked in a little bit of ham hock stock.
Oh, okay. All right.
And,
all of those?
That's half.
Okay.
And
Alrighty.
then again, we just want to stir that around.
Yep. Ooh, can I throw it around?
You sure can.
You should see my flipping skills here. Ready? Huh? Huh?
You might want to use a wooden spoon.
Okay.
But just
Good
throw that
call.
around.
Okay.
And then you can add a little bit of tomatoes, like a quarter of those.
Quarter of those.
There you go. That's
Okay.
perfect. And now we're just going to let this cook down for a little bit.
I'll get my stir around.
The only other thing that we really need to add to this is season it again a little bit.
Okay.
And add the Peeky-toe crab.
Oh, okay. All
And
right.
Peeky-toe crab, of course, this is a cooked crab meat.
Yep.
We want to go ahead and just add that right at the end and just warm it lightly through.
Okay. Alrighty. And then when do we add our truffle butter?
Well, truffle butter is actually going to go into the sauce
Oh, I gotcha.
and that kind of
Okay.
stuff. So we're going
Alrighty.
to let this reduce down a little bit.
Yep.
And we probably want to season this. If you can grab a spoon, we'll go ahead and taste our
Alrighty.
truffle broth. If you got two of them, that would be
There
great.
you go. So we're gonna go ahead and taste.
Just taste a little bit.
I
see
gotcha.
what
No sticking your fingers in there, huh? A little warm.
it is. So we definitely need some salt
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
and some fresh black pepper as well.
Okay. Fresh black pepper. Does taste good though without the salt and fresh black pepper.
It does.
Want a little more?
That's great.
Alrighty.
And now we're just going to let this reduce down.
Okay.
We got our mushrooms cooking.
Yep.
We got our vegetable, our ragu going.
Now this comes from your restaurant Upstream, right? Is this
It
something
does.
you serve at the restaurant there?
We do.
Okay.
This is one of these great summer dishes. You know, you got your fresh corn, butter beans, fresh farmer market tomatoes are in season right now. You know, we're a big advocate of farmers markets.
Okay.
You know, this is all, you know, fingerling potatoes are locally grown in Charlotte. Corn is locally grown in Charlotte. The butter beans are freshly grown there, shelled there.
Now is your restaurant
People-
seasonal? Very seasonal?
It
The
very-
menu changes up?
It is. All our
Okay.
seafood is flown in daily.
Okay.
We get it from all over the world, from Hawaii, from the Northeast, from the Pacific Northwest.
And from the
Florida.
Gulf of Mexico,
Most
if you want genuine red snapper, right?
Exactly.
See, I've learned something.
Exactly.
Yeah, we've already learned something here. Alrighty. Well, when we come back, we are going to be checking our on our fish, but also I'm talking to Aris Ragazeas and finding out which wine he has paired with our genuine red snapper from the Gulf of Mexico. Next on Carolina Cooking.
You can find the secret recipes of the best chefs in the Carolinas, all in one book, the Carolina Cooking Cookbook. Find the Carolina Cooking Cookbook in Amazon.com and our website, carolinacooking.tv.
Welcome back to Carolina Cooking. I'm here in the wine cellar at the mansion on Forsyth Park with our wine expert, Eris Ragazeas. And Eris, we are making up a red snapper. We got some Succotash going. Which wine did you pick for us?
I picked a Viña La Rosa Sauvignon Blanc from Chile.
Okay. Chile now, is that a new region to make wine in, Chile?
Well, it's new in the minds of most people, but
Yeah.
this winery itself has been making wine since 1824.
Oh, so we just got around to hearing about them, huh?
Yes, and Chile is oftentimes more noted for its red wines, but they're making some great white wines too. And Sauvignon Blanc is the kind of wine that will go with the fish course and deals very well with vegetables, probably better than any other wine. So this to
Really?
me was kind of a no-brainer.
Alrighty.
Good, rich flavors of citrus, a little bit of tropical fruit, a lot of herbs, a little bit of gooseberries.
Getting a lot of fruit in there.
Very, very aromatic.
Very aromatic, yeah. And very good taste. You get a lot of fruit, actually, yeah.
But that good twang of acidity too that'll just slice right through that like a knife.
Well, I'm sure it will work perfectly. I mean, we have the red snapper almost ready, the Succotash, full of interesting vegetables. I think this will do a good job for us.
It'll do a great job, and from a winery that is not a Johnny-come-lately.
Wow. We'll be getting back to our red snapper when we continue with Carolina Cooking.
You can find the secret recipes of the best chefs in the Carolinas, all in one book, the Carolina Cooking Cookbook. Find the Carolina Cooking Cookbook in Amazon.com and our website, carolinacooking.tv.
Welcome back to Carolina Cooking, where you can see our red snapper is done. We've gone ahead and taken it out of the oven, and it is looking good there. We seared one side, and the other side looks just incredible. Oh, and it smells good too. We have to finish up our Succotash, which was, I have to say, pretty easy to get together. I thought Peeky-toe Succotash would be incredibly difficult, but just throw it all together. We have to finish that up by adding what part? What?
Just the Peeky-toe crab.
The Peeky-toe crab goes in there. Okay, so that would be Peeky-toe crab.
Correct. Just
All
add
right.
that all to it,
All of the Peeky-toe crab.
and just stir that in.
Stir it in.
You basically can almost turn your burner off at this point.
Okay.
And just stir it in. You want to stir it in lightly. Now you want to
okay.
taste it. Just taste it for a little bit of, taste it for your salt, your pepper.
Okay. Get a little bit there.
Got it. Good.
We could do a little pepper. We could do a little pepper.
Excellent.
We'll do a pinch of salt.
There you
Okay.
go. And we stir that in, and then
right.
we can just let that sit back there.
That's done.
Now we're going to finish our broth.
Okay.
So what we've done is reduce this down. It's nice and caramelized down. Reduction
Yep.
good. Now you want to go ahead
And so
and
it's nice and thick, right like that?
right now you
Okay.
basically want to turn it off. Totally turn
Okay.
it off. There's no reason to have this on any longer.
Okay.
Whoops. And now you're just going to add that butter.
I'll add the butter, the truffle butter right here.
Yeah, you can
which,
add that whole truffle butter.
Oh, all of it already?
And now you're just going to whisk it in.
Okay.
And anytime that you're adding butter to a sauce to enrichen it, to lightly thicken it,
Yeah.
you want to take it off heat. And you don't want
Okay.
to put it on heat. And you want to just go ahead and stir that in there. There you go. You go a little easier and that stuff. There you go. Excellent. Now you want to go ahead and strain it through a little strainer of some kind, because we want to get the shallots and the thyme and everything out of there.
Got some hanger-ons there. All right, well, we'll just set them aside.
Okay.
And just strain it?
Strain it right through.
Okay. All right.
You could probably use your back of your spoon right here, your wooden spoon,
Okay.
to just kind of.
Push
And
it
anytime
down?
you're working with strainers, you don't want to put anything like a hard spoon in there. Just use a little wooden spoon.
Okay.
And just whisk out to get as much out as possible.
Alrighty.
That's perfect.
Okie dokie. Put that back in. So
Now
that's our sauce.
Right, now you want to taste that as well.
Alrighty.
So what we have is we have all our components basically completed for this. We have our fish roasted off, we have our succotash made, and we have our sauce. Now we
Okay.
can go ahead and plate it.
What goes first?
Succotash down first. You wanna
Succotash down
Go ahead and put a
first.
little spoonful of that on there.
Let me borrow real quick here.
I can bring it over to you.
Okay. Little succotash goes in. Okay.
And there you go. I'm going to kind of mound it in the center. That's perfect.
Alrighty.
Now
Nice
you want to go
mound.
ahead and take the fish.
Now take the fish. And the
probably just
tongue
one nice
fish.
size right there.
And which side? Skin side up or?
Yep, skin side up.
Okay.
And place
Fish.
that right up on top.
Woohoo!
Now with a
Alrighty.
spoon, you want to go ahead and just ladle a little sauce around it. And I would use a spoon.
Okay.
And you don't want to go over the fish, you just want to go around the fish.
Around the fish. Little
There you go.
make lake sauce for the fish.
And you
okay.
just
Oh,
add-
sorry. It went on the fish. Oh.
That's okay,
all
that's
right.
perfect.
Okay.
Okay, then put that down here.
Alrighty.
Then what we have here, we have some upper cress. This is a little microgreen cress. It's very pungent. You want to add a little bit into this bowl.
Okay.
We want to go ahead and take a lemon, slice a lemon in half.
Gotcha. Okay.
And if I can, I'm going to reach around and just wipe our plate down a little bit.
Go for it.
Okay.
Alright.
And squeeze a little bit of that. Some fresh olive oil, just a little bit.
Olive oil. Woohoo.
Okay. And then add a little bit of the olive oil to the plate, to the fish itself.
To the
just
fish?
a little bit, yeah.
All right.
Great.
There we go. And
Little
this
salt
goes
and
on
pepper.
top?
A little salt and pepper on there.
Okay.
I got the salt. And
There
then
we
a little
go.
bit right up on top.
Looks incredible. I'm going to give it a little taste here. Actually, first, I'm going to pour you a glass of wine. I'm being rude. Being rude. Let me pour you a little glass of wine here.
Thank you.
And Sauvignon Blanc is what Eric suggested to us. Going to take a little taste here. If you would like to, well, that's good. If you would like to find out more about the recipe, our wine, our chef, or our restaurant, visit www.carolinacooking.tv. I'm Tom Zelinka, and that's Carolina Cooking. Thank you.
Go to carolinacooking.tv for the recipes featured on this show. Plus, on carolinacooking.tv, you'll find more information on the wine, chefs, and foods of Carolina Cooking. That's carolinacooking.tv.
Carolina Cooking is filmed on location in 700 Kitchen Cooking School at the Mansion on Forsyth Park Hotel in Savannah, Georgia. For details on their hands-on cooking classes, call 888-711-5114 to book a class.